Hello. I'm recording and driving. So I wanted to record this video while it was fresh on my mind. I just got done with hike and my dogs are panting in the back, so hopefully you can hear me okay. I was thinking this morning about an experience I had a few years ago on a trail. I went for a hike with my dogs on a trail and I had this really negative experience. I just was walking on the trail and one of my dogs was in front of me and the other one was behind me, just doing their thing. I have a system for keeping them from being obnoxious on the trail because I'm super insecure about stuff like that, and I worry and I don't want anybody to be afraid of my dogs or like upset about my dogs. And so I have this system, and when I see somebody coming, I call my dogs back to me and I either hold on to them or put them on a leash or give them a treat or whatever, just to keep them kind of contained so that nobody else has a bad experience on the trail. Like, this is my system. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to relax, and there's some boundary things going on there and stuff. But and I see people on trails totally with their dogs totally relaxed, and I was like, I want to be like that. But anyway, so what happened was, from behind me, I heard someone start yelling at me, and I turn around and they were yelling at my dog in my dog's face. And if you don't know anything about dogs, let me tell you, when you're talking to a dog and interacting with them, like, they're excited, they're happy, they're getting attention, like, and the dog was like jumping up on him, and it, like, from my view, it looked like he was totally encouraging it, even though he was clearly unhappy about what the dog was doing. And I was just like, what is going on? And then he just keeps walking and he yells at me, tells me I should have my dogs on a leash and blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, what the heck? And then, so he had a woman with him, and he had a dog with him, and she had a dog with her. Or maybe he didn't have a dog, I don't remember. But she definitely had a dog with her, and she was so afraid to come past me because of my dogs. I was like, and at that point I had both my dogs by their collar, maybe on a leash, but I had them, and she was terrified to walk past me. And I was like, lady, like, my dogs are friendly, they're not gonna hurt you, they're not gonna hurt your dogs. And she finally walked past me, and I said something to her about what happened, and she defended him, and I was like, that is not okay, and I'm leaving. Like, I turned around and I left the trail. I was like, I will not be on a trail with a man like that, period. And I could tell that she felt really bad about what happened. And anyway, it was pretty traumatizing for me, actually. I already have issues with men, and that did not help. And so, gosh, for weeks I was struggling with this interaction. And I would go back to the trail, and I think I went a couple of times, and his vehicle, I knew what vehicle was his because we were the only ones on the trail that day, and his vehicle was there, and I was like, and I just turned around and left. And then one day I think I was like, I can't keep not doing this and not letting myself go do what I love because of this man. And so one day when his vehicle was parked there, I went, but I was like, I'm gonna go on the other trail across the road. And so I did, and it wasn't very long before my dog saw somebody and like ran up to them, because that's what they do if I don't catch them in time beforehand. And it was the same man, and he didn't yell at me. I don't know what the effect was on him that day, if the person he was with told him about how upset I was or whatever, I don't know. But I said, sorry, like, they're young and they're still learning, and then I went on my way, and anyway, this was years ago, and I still have a hard time Well, it's not as hard, but I still think of it. I still think of it. Like, what if? And I'm stressed and I'm worried. And so I went on a trail this morning. I actually felt impressed to go on a particular trail. And so I did, trying really hard to trust those promptings that I get and to just trust and not say, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? But just trust. And so I went and passed several people on the trail, and they were all men. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm driving. And I just had a very different experience today. Like, all of them were so nice to me and to my dogs. The first guy I passed, like, he just said thank you because I pulled my dogs aside for his sake, and I don't know that he needed me to, but he just said thank you. And then another one, just super kind, super polite. And then on my way back, the last guy I passed was one of those chill guys or chill hikers who's just totally relaxed. His dogs are just doing their thing, and he doesn't care about what anybody thinks about his dogs. And I was like, I want to be like that. I want to get to that point where I can just relax on the trail, and then kept going down. And the very last man that I passed, I called my dogs, and so I have a lab mix, and she's pretty obedient because labs are happy to please you. And then I have an Akita, and they're pretty stubborn because they really don't care that you're asking them to do something. Like, they have to have a lot of love for you to do what you want them to. And this last time I called them to me, my lab came to me, and my Akita stopped and she looked at me. And then it was like she didn't even see the man. Like, normally she would run up to everybody and say hi, and she's like, she just totally ignored him. And I was like, oh my gosh. When I relax, she totally does this cool thing. And then I was walking back, so TMI, but I'd cleaned up some poop and I'd left the bags on the trail. It's kind of a thing that hikers do sometimes, and pick it up on the way back. And so on the way back, I was like, gosh, my bags are gray. I'm probably not going to see them. So I was looking really carefully because the gray just blended in with the rocks so well. So I was super looking for them and just trying to be super vigilant, and I never saw them. And as I got close to the end of the trail, I was like, okay, now I know I would have seen them by now. And this thought just came to me, like, somebody took them for you. And anyway, I just felt like a part of me healed from this experience with this man that I had a couple years ago, because I had 4 good interactions with men on the trail. And one of them even picked up my dog poop for me. And my point is today, because there needs to be a point, right? I was impressed to go on the specific trail on this specific day. I believe by God. And sometimes we can work and try to heal from our traumas. And I don't know, for me, sometimes it can feel exhausting, like I still have so much work to do. And this just taught me today, like, that my Creator has my back. He wants me to heal, and if I just relax and trust in Him, like, He will provide opportunities for me to heal. And that was what I got from this, and that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you for listening. I know that was long, and I know I cried a lot. And guess what? Crying is healthy, so I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just going to say thank you for watching to the end and letting me share what I shared in this space. Hope you have a great day, and I hope that you are still healing from your traumas. Bye.